it was a bit of a crazy day yesterday and a couple of days before that. And I have to say, yesterday I began to lose my faith in my ability to know where I'm being called to. This whole trip is a spiritual mission for me, you know, I was called on it, and I often feel like I'm just sort of flying blindly like the hummingbird, just saying yes and just going wherever the flow takes me. But when we were driving, it was great, and then all of a sudden, I think yesterday up the Interstate 5, the lands began to change, and it just became quite agricultural, a lot of farming. Actually, I would have thought being around trees and plants and stuff would be beautiful and connected, but it felt so fake and so false, and I just got this weird feeling. I was like, we're not meant to be here, we're not meant to be going up this way, we need to go to Yosemite, we need to go to the Redwoods. And I started freaking out that I wasn't answering my call properly, and I was making the wrong decisions. And Harry was like, oh, we've missed a turning, we can't go to Yosemite. And he's like, come on, just stick to what you know, trust in yourself. And I was like, I can't trust in myself, this feels wrong. And I just went from this high to this absolute freaking out low. Just lack of trust in myself. I'd never had that. I started to lose faith in myself. You know, I'm on this calling and I am blind. I don't really know what I'm meant to be doing, but I know when I get to the places, I know what to do. This has happened before. And so we ended up staying at this reservoir, and we went to bed, and we were all so knackered, got there quite late at night, and woke up the next day, and there was a really lovely lady. And then she showed us where the reservoir was, and oh my God, I realised why I had to see nature in its man-fucked way. You know, this reservoir was here, it was built, all this water's contained to feed the masses, and it's dying anyway. I'm glad I saw it, and I did some ceremony down by the waters as close as I could get to it, because it's a bit dodgy, because it's a lot of it's disappeared, but the mud is quite sinky, so you can't get too close to it. But and I started to realise why I was there, and I realised that part of this calling isn't all sort of rosy and beautiful as it is here. And then we got on our way, but Connie was really ill, so I started to wobble again. We ended up taking her to emergency care, and I just thought, shit, what if I am on the wrong path? What, I'm doing the wrong thing? And Connie's reflecting that. 4 hours later on Walmart car park, I'd basically surrendered to everything. And actually, weirdly enough, by the time I'd managed to get all the drugs for her, which I didn't want to do anyway, she started to perk up, which was all the Reiki and the love that's been sent by hundreds of people, which is amazing. Once we got on the road, especially when we got into Sacramento, the trees started to appear, and everything in me began to change. Like, I was happier, we got the tunes on, we were singing, we were just having such an amazing time. And I realised it was the land. I couldn't connect to the lands where I'd been in that part of America, and it just wobbled my faith, because I couldn't connect. And I realised what I do is I connect to the trees, I connect to nature, and that land was just fucking dead. It's just dead. You know, we got here to Shasta Lake, and again, it is man-made, it's a reservoir, but surrounded by trees. And we had this amazing full moon fire last night, which was cool, with the kids and Harry. And you know, Harry's just so into that stuff now. Well, I say into it, he comes along for the ride and he honours the process and ceremony. And this morning I came down here, I've been down here for about an hour and a half, meditating in the stillness, connecting, listening, and it was so still. And then at the end of the meditation, I saw like 4 different eagles and this beautiful black butterfly just came and sat by me. And I know that, well, Harry said to me, he goes, how can you feel like you're failing at something if you don't know what it is you're failing at? And I think part of my meditation today is to let go and trust that I come to these sacred spots and I know exactly what to do, when to do it. And it's not always going to be, sunshine and trees and happiness. Sometimes it's just going to be a little bit rough, and I have to see that too. It's all about balance. And so here we are at Lake Shasta. And to be honest, I feel like this is the actual beginning of it. I've got 5 days retreat tomorrow, so this will be my sort of last video blog really, because we're not allowed any Wi-Fi, we're not allowed any phones, no, not even allowed to take pictures of where we're going. But we're going to do all of Mount Shasta, and this is the base chakra of the earth. And that will mean I've been to the base chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus, and the heart chakra. Uluru, Lake Titicaca, Glastonbury, Shasta. So this is the first part of the mission. Peace out all.